Hey guys, Chill Scrub here, coming back at you with another video. This time I'm playing some For Honor, as you can see, man. In my last podcast I was playing some Street Fighter 5, and I have to be quite honest with you guys. I think I'm getting very, very, very tired of Tekken, and that brings me to the title of the thing I want to talk to you about today. And that's literally just the mental health and just the psychology of the game. I feel like a lot of people are getting burnt out of the game. I know myself, definitely. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I am. And I feel as though it's that time where I need to take a break again. Right now I'm prepping for a tournament. I'm going to DreamHack 2019, November 15th to the 17th. Wish me all the luck there. Thanks in advance. But let me dig deeper into this topic, man. I realize the further I get in Tekken, or the progress that I'm making in Tekken, the more the community pretty much strike back. I know, again, like I said in my last video, I have a very unpopular opinion than most. So I expect a little more pushback than usual. I don't really agree with a lot of things that Harada does. I don't agree with a lot of things the community does. Do I like the game overall? Yes, I do. Do I feel like there's a lot of flaws in the game? Yes. Do I feel like it's my favorite Tekken? No. Do I feel as though there's things that needs to be really, really worked on and tweaked? Are there things that I think that should have been in the game in the beginning? Yes. Do I feel like Harada has drones that sit there and obey everything he says? Yes. And quite frankly, I'm getting tired. From the daily trolls to the elitist know-it-alls, to the scrubs that think they're good, to the people that have never played a tournament but talk as if they do. It's just a lot of things that one thing individually wouldn't tire you, but after years and years and years of playing this game non-stop, not just Tekken 7 but Tekken as a franchise overall, excuse me, it begins to get tiring. Again, from the scrubs that's trying to get good. There's nothing wrong with trying to get good. I encourage everybody to get good. But it feels like this community has a crab in the bucket mentality. In order for you to get good, it seems as though you have to knock somebody else down. That's the way when I look at a lot of people play and how they speak and dialogue and have conversations with each other. I see a lot of that. I even caught myself in a situation like that a couple of hours ago. I was having a conversation with an individual. He's a good friend of mine. His name, he goes by Golf Wing Mob. We used to play a lot back in the day, some tag 2 and stuff like that. And he's grown exponentially as a player. And I realized I got caught in the same trap that I was trying to avoid. I let my ego get the best of me, and I called this guy out for really no reason, because he said he didn't remember playing me. And my ego said, yo, I know you play me, it's on stream, I bopped you X, Y, and Z. And to that guy I owe an apology, because I'm doing the absolute most. When I calmed down and thought about it, I'm like, if he didn't remember playing me, so what? Who cares? I mean, shit happens. He has an everyday life. I have everyday life. I'm pretty sure he has a job and responsibilities, as do I. So yes, I feel like even me, as much shit as I talk about the game and the people, sometimes I contribute too. But the thing about me that I'm trying to get better at, I check myself when I'm being a little bit outrageous. This community overall, it has a lot of good things in it. I'm not going to sit there and just say like it's all bad. Like I said earlier, you have a lot of good content creators. You have a community that's really trying to grow, and I really am for that. But there's things that I've noticed, and there's an analogy I should have used in the podcast when somebody brought up the sales of the game, because a lot of people, when they talk about how good 7 is, they talk about the sales and the tournament scenes and all that. I mean, maybe this isn't the best analogy, but this is the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, well, it's kind of like an iPhone. No matter what they do to an iPhone, many people are going to buy an iPhone, and more than likely, the more popular it gets, it's to the point where like the new iPhone 11, people are gonna get that regardless, just because it's just the ideal phone to have. And as much as I don't want to say it, Tekken is actually becoming it's like an iPhone to me. Like, and right now Street Fighter's looking more like an Android. I mean, even though Street Fighter's more of a legacy franchise than Tekken 7 has definitely taken the limelight. Is the game perfect, as I always say? No, of course not. There's many things that could have been worked on, but as far as sales wise, promotional wise, everything is phenomenal. The community's helping, everything is just put in place the way it's supposed to. But let's talk about the core of the community that I'm in, and why I need to take a break. The reason why I say, me personally, I need to take a break is because I feel like I'm starting to get out of character. Like, this game makes me angry, like legit angry. Normally, when I'm in my right state of mind, if something is starting to annoy me, I just cut it off and go do something else. But I feel so fixated to validate myself through other people, and like, yo, I can beat you in X, Y, and Z. And beforehand, when I first started playing Tekken 7, that was never the case. The only case was to improve and have a good time. But I got caught up in the bullshit and thinking that, yo, I need to put myself on the map. I need to create content every day. I need to stream a lot. I need to show people how good I am. I need to be a prominent figure in the FGC as far as the Tekken 7 community is concerned. And none of that is the case. I mean, I kind of want to get back to the roots of it. Like, I want to take a break, calm down, get back to the roots of it, and do it. And do it for the reasons why I started, to pretty much just have fun, enjoy the game, and do what I love. I mean, I like making YouTube videos. I like streaming. I like Tekken overall. But the more I play it, and the more I play it in bulk, the more I hate it. The more I start to hate the community, the more I start to hate the game, the more I start blaming the developers and all that. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to blame developers no matter what, because there's just certain things that I just will not tolerate. But I think I'm driving the nail into the coffin. I think y'all get the idea. Another thing I've preached on beforehand, I really feel like us as a consumer base need to have a standard when it comes down to Tekken, when it comes down to games, when it comes down to life. Because this is not just going to be a Tekken video, this is going to be a life video. I feel like in life and in Tekken, a lot of people do not have standards. They go with the status quo, and if it's okay with the status quo, then they'll just go with it just because. Not because they like the game, or they like the situation in life, or they like the social situation they in. They just feel like this is the situation I'm supposed to be in, and this is the most socially acceptable situation to be in. I beg to differ. With the Tekken community, what I would like to see is, I would like to see more opinions. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having your opinion that you like the game and so forth and so forth. I'm not saying that everybody should be on my bandwagon and hate the game or X, Y, and Z. But it's almost like everybody's reading the same script when it comes to Tekken. Tekken 7 is great. Tekken 7 is this. Tekken 7 is X, Y, and Z. But we can clearly see problems right there in your face, and we just act like they don't happen. Like constant blue screens, constant shit talking, constant pluggers, constant things in rank match that shouldn't be happening. The fact that you can boost a whole bunch of cherry pickers, egos out inflated out the ass because you can achieve a rank by beating a player that you just literally just search for because that's the only player you can beat. And we have memes and all this kind of stuff all the time, and we have players that we talk about on the regular. But when it comes time to address these kind of problems, we just don't. I feel like in life, us as people, and myself included, have become very complacent. We're just okay with just mediocrity. And I know for a fact I'm going to change that about myself. I am not okay with mediocrity. I feel like Tekken 7 is good, but compared to the time we're in and the era we're in, Tekken 7 is mediocrity. It definitely didn't live up to its potential. And if you do say it lived up to its potential, you're going to prove to me otherwise. Not by sales, I'm talking about by your measure. Does it live up to your potential? Not my potential, not Speed Kick's potential, not Anakin's potential, not Knee's potential thoughts of it, not fucking the main man Sweet thoughts of it. Did it live up to your potential? That is my thing. That's what I want to know. Again, CJ said it in the last podcast. I've said it on the regular. When I ask you about the game, I'm asking you. I'm asking your opinions. I'm asking your thoughts. I'm asking your feelings. I want you to give me a thought-provoking conversation on it. Something to think on. Something that I'm like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. Not the same rhetoric that everybody else tosses around. It gets old after a while. And I know it sounds like I'm preaching, but I have a lot to get off my chest when it comes to this game. And I feel like these videos, as of right now, is my best way to vent my frustrations. It's odd because there's nothing wrong with looking up the top players and looking at them, okay, this is what I want to model myself as far as gameplay wise, but I don't think you should model yourself as them as far as mentality wise. I think a lot of us get that mixed up. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I strive to have a work ethic like me when it comes down to the game. There's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. Most people can't achieve that because, like I said earlier, a lot of people are lazy. But if you're striving to get that, I can't knock that. I mean, he has a work ethic that supersedes mine when it comes down to playing Tekken, because I'm going to be honest, I'm just not as passionate about the game as he is. But when it comes to mentality, like, no, think for yourself. It's okay to say something's not right. For some odd reason in this community, as far as how I feel as though people are just scared to say, I don't feel like this is right in the game. And with good reason, because if you do on Twitter, you get shunned. On YouTube, you get shunned. On Reddit, it's a fucking nightmare. It's a disaster. It's literally scary to have an opinion that is going against the status quo. Honestly, I feel like not just me, I feel like all of us as Tekken players, anywhere from intermediate, advanced, novice, I feel like it's good to take a break from Tekken. I know that you love the game. I know that you want to improve. I feel like taking a break is good for your health. Not only good for your health, good for your gameplay. I'm pretty sure you're going to yield consistent results, or better consistent results, if you take a break once in a while. There's a such thing as not only physical fatigue from playing the game, but mental fatigue, psychological fatigue, and emotional fatigue. Please take a break. Find other things to do, other hobbies, other passions, other things that'll make you have better insight on the game. For me, that would be music, other games, going outside, chilling with my girl, you know, doing things of that nature, you know, just enjoying life. So I feel as though I need to do more of that. Don't get me wrong, the grind is still going to be going strong. Like, I've been going strong lately. I plan to keep that going, but in a nutshell, put things in perspective. Now, as far as rank match and the psychology and rank match, I find it pretty fucking stupid. People equate rank match to real life. I mean, it's real people playing rank match, but rank match is not real life. It's just rank match. Rank match to me, when I first started playing rank match, or when I was playing any kind of game that had a ranking system in it, it was just showing my progress against the top level players, or my progress compared to my peers that's in my level, or stuff of that nature. People take rank almost as a pride thing. If you say something about rank, if your rank is not higher than theirs, but you can beat that person, automatically they use rank to cover their ego, because their ego is hurting inside because they're losing to a player that they feel is lesser than them. I'm going to be honest with you guys, in season 2 and 3, rank doesn't mean anything. And just because I'm not a Tekken God Prime, that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is incorrect. Rank doesn't really mean anything when you can see for yourself multiple people are achieving Tekken God Primes, Tekken Gods, True Tekken Gods, Emperors, Tekken Kings, or relative ease. And I'm pretty sure these are people that you can beat consistently on the regular basis. Do I feel like rank is inflated? Yes, I do. And that's what another gripe I have with the game. I feel like it's the direction that the FGC has taken in a whole, as far as fighting games or just gaming in general. It's giving these easy way out for people. Make the game easier. Give everybody a participation award, as I said before, and everybody's happy. But a lot of competitive people, and I see that even though they don't want to acknowledge it, a lot of competitive people are actually upset because you have people that have the same rank as you, but you know damn well you can bop them. That sounds pretty fucking weird to me. That was a brutal way to die. But yeah, it's really, really frustrating, man. In my mind, I feel like in the future Tekken 7 will be better. I mean, it's taking a better route than it has so far. But I remember, let me share a story with you guys. In Tekken 7, in the beginning of Tekken 7, I took a long break. I took a long break from the game when it first came out. I was literally that disappointed. I have friends that can vouch for me. I played the game for the first month, maybe month and a half, and then I took probably a 2-month break. I was that disappointed in it. And this is coming from a person that was so mad at Tag 2, and I hated Tag 2 so much that I literally got a hammer, I got some alcohol, and I got a lighter. I set it on fire, smashed it with a hammer. I think I have that tweet on my regular Twitter, on my personal Twitter. I was that upset with the game, and now that I'm 2.5 years after Tag 2 has died, I realized that Tag 2 was not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, I was just overreacting, and maybe if hindsight is 2020 like I think it is, I might have the same reaction towards Tekken 7 if Tekken 8 comes out. But as of right now though, I'm going to be honest with you, and we all know it, that the community is very toxic. I feel like the community sweeps a lot of things under the rug. We want to sit here and have this facade like everything is okay and we're all kumbaya and we all get along just to get along and everything is good, and we just have like rivalries and things of that nature, and it never escalates to anything personal. But it does all the time. There are plenty of situations where you can clearly see that it's going personal, rather it be competitive offline or competitive online. No matter, even though competitive online in Tekken 7 is pretty much a paradox to me, but that shit happens. Also, again, like I just didn't want to talk about me ragging on Tekken. I also want to ask you guys, what kind of content do you want to see on this channel? Like, I want to speak to you guys directly, and I want you to have a conversation. If you're watching this video all the way through, I want you in the comment section to tell me how you feel about Tekken. I want you to tell me your thoughts, what you want to see, or if you just like the game the way it is. How do you feel about the offline scene? Your legitimate opinions. I don't want to hear everybody else's opinions. If it just happens to correspond with most opinions, fine, but I don't want to hear the same thing over and over and over again, especially if it seems like a copy and paste of a professional player on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube or Twitch. I want to hear your opinions, because I feel like a lot of people in the Tekken community are unheard. I feel like the majority, or not even the majority, the minority, like the 10% to 15%, maybe I'll even go as far as say 25. The 25% of the best players are heard, and the rest of us are just whatever. As far as where you rank me on that spectrum, that's up to you. As far as how I see myself on that spectrum, I feel like I'm not there. I feel like I'm with the rest of you guys. I'm with the rest of the 75%. I am not there. Am I pretty decent at the game? That is up for debate. I feel like I'm okay. I can hold my own. But I have a lot to improve on. Just like Red says, and a lot of us say, there's many things that I can improve on. But what I can also improve on is knowing my limits at the game. I remember there was a while back, I did a 4 hours, not even a while back, like at least a couple of weeks ago, I did a 4-hour stream, right? Most of the time, if you've watched my streams, I don't really stream that long. I stream for an hour, maybe a 2, maybe 2 hours and 30 minutes. But I streamed Tekken 7 for almost 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. I was exhausted physically, mentally. That game takes a toll on me. It takes more out of me than I think it does. And this is coming from a person that's worked at fucking very manual heavy jobs, manual like labor jobs like UPS, as far as like package handling and going inside of trucks and moving packages that could be anywhere from 70 to 100 pounds. And that's the entire truck, 53 feet, 120-degree weather. It's really tough. But I found that playing 5 hours of that game was really taxing, and that's going back to what I said mentally. It's because I'm mentally exhausted. And I feel like a lot of content creators, whether they want to say it or not, they are mentally exhausted from the game too. There are people that have a legit love for the game. So when I say that, please do not misconstrue what I say and thinking that I'm speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for me, and I'm speaking for people like me. If this does not apply to you, please let it fly. Even if it does, please, by all means, state your opinion and all that good stuff. Again, I'm here to incite conversation. I'm not here to incite a riot. I'm not here to be the new Akumu or the new Tekken villain, even though that's what I'm starting to feel like right now. I'm just here to hear everybody's thoughts. I'm here to start dialogue. I'm here to create change if there needs to be. If there doesn't, time will tell. But you guys, I would really like everybody to really be concerned with their mental health. Not only when it comes just to Tekken, just in real life. Be concerned with your mental health and everything else. I feel like there's a lot of people I see that I've played with in my circle that put Tekken above their actual personal life. They don't handle their own personal responsibility and they put Tekken over that. And I feel like that's extremely detrimental. Rather, just not only in Tekken, in real life. I feel like people put their pride so high they forget how to conduct themselves as a person when it comes to Tekken. I feel like not only that, I feel like a lot of us, including myself, we lose ourselves in the validation of Tekken and through ranks and pretty much the instant gratification and that guy saying that you're good and yo, check my rank, I'm better than you, and all that other bullshit that we forget to sometimes just sit back and enjoy the game. Crazy enough, right? There's a friend of mine, CJ. He be on the podcast a lot. Me, Saw, CJ, even Sitch. Even though he hasn't been on the podcast yet, he's more than welcome to come. He's always he's one of the original 5 between me, CJ, Sauce, Tenez, and Sitch. But there's this thought process I had for a while, and I've shared it with them, and they agree. It's crazy how we get so wrapped up in the game. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of us, we get so wrapped up in the game that we forget that it's a game and it's meant to have fun. A lot of us are not getting paid off of Tekken, but we get mad and rage at the game as if we are. I used to make this joke where I used to say, shit, Tekken doesn't pay me enough to get mad and frustrated and stressed out and all this other stuff. I mean, think about it. If a lot of us have full-time jobs, part-time jobs where you're working pretty much full-time hour without the full-time benefits, which that's a topic for a whole nother day. And we come home and we pop in our we turn on our PS4, we pop in Tekken 7, and you would think after 8 hours of dealing with people, depending on what your job is, most likely dealing with people you don't like, working at a job you don't like, right? And all this other stuff, you would think that Tekken, a game that we all enjoy, including myself, no matter how much I rag on the game, Tekken as a franchise I do enjoy, that we will play this game just to get away, right? It would be cathartic for us. It would really be a great help for us mentally. It's our escape. But I think a lot of us, when it comes down to us mentally, we bring our problems on to Tekken instead of leaving our problems at our job or leaving our problems where they're at and just enjoying Tekken for enjoying Tekken. So let's say a person has a bad day at work and then they end up having a bad day at Tekken, and next thing you know, they're being extra toxic, myself included. I'm not, again, I want to incorporate this into y'all before y'all get the idea that I feel like I'm better than anybody else. I am no better than anybody else. I will be the first one to say that, and I will keep saying that. I am no better than anybody else. I make mistakes just like anybody else do. Do that means I should be excused for my mistakes just for saying that? No. If I make mistakes, I should be criticized for it just like anybody else. Just like I said in my last video, Harada is not above criticism, and criticism is not harassment. I'm not above criticism either. But yes, I really do feel like a lot of us, we take this shit way too seriously, and especially since we're not getting paid for it. I can understand if I was making a living off of it, or you was making a living off of it, or you planned on making a living off of it. Well, yes, you kind of take it as a job. Don't get me wrong, you still enjoy the game, but it's kind of like a job for you now. Making content and reaching out to people, building a fan base and all that. Yeah, that's a lot of work, and it can become stressful at times. But another thing I want to speak on before this video is almost over, all in all, can we just make the community more inviting? I mean, yes, the community's growing, but I feel like it can grow a lot more. Another thing I would like to say is, don't hate the people that criticize Tekken 7. They don't criticize, people always make the pretty much the same cop-out excuse or cop-out debate. Well, if you hate Tekken so much, stop playing it. It's not that we hate Tekken 7, we just want it to be better. Or they be like, clearly you just don't like Tekken. I'm like, no, it's quite the opposite. I love the game so much, I want to see it do better. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of my points have their own biases towards them. I'm not going to sit there and lie. There are certain things that I want that is just solely for me, that is not going to benefit everybody else, but there's things that I want. But I feel like there's a lot of things I say that should be incorporated into the game that I feel will help everybody. That's just me personally. I'm not perfect, but I feel like it'll help a lot of people. But people dismiss people's opinions so fast to the point where they just chalk it up to, oh, you hate the game. Well, if you don't like it, stop playing the game. Okay, let's use your logic. So let's say everybody who has a critique of the game, stop playing the game. And also the people who just doesn't care about the game, stop playing the game too. You only have the hardcore fans. And as we know, it's going to take more than a few hardcore fans to keep a game alive. Let's look at Virtual Fighter. Virtual Fighter is an excellent game. I feel like Virtual Fighter, it was way ahead of its time. But Virtual Fighter flopped after a while. Great game, great mechanics. I feel like, quite honestly, it's more advanced than fucking Tekken is by a long shot. But the game died relatively easy. It wasn't bringing enough newcomers in. Again, I just really feel like we shouldn't shun each other's opinions so quickly. We shouldn't use our ego or our rank or our tournament status or all this other shit to flaunt, to be like, well, just because I've done these things, your opinion is invalid. No, the opinion isn't invalid. The only time I feel like an opinion is stupid, and I know what I just said sounds weird, is when you have no support to back up your claim. It's just like the simple thing of writing an essay. I mean, we all hopefully went to school. So when you're writing an essay, right, rather it be persuasive, informative, or whatever, you still need supporting details for your main topic or your thesis. That's what I feel like a lot of the Tekken community, when it comes down to having an opinion, I feel like it's not really, it doesn't have any weight because there's nothing to support it. It's just, well, I feel like it should be this, or my rank is this, or my tournament status is this, so therefore you should listen to me. No, if you ask me my opinions, and I'm more than welcome to anybody challenging me on my opinions, I can bring up a lot of things, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. CJ knows it, Sitch knows it, Sauce knows it. If I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong. And another thing is, I'm starting to realize that a lot of people are not used to people challenging the status quo of Tekken. I find it very funny. But with that being said, though, I want everybody to take care of their mental health when it comes to Tekken. I want all of us to have fun and have a good time. And please, take a break. It is not worth it. It is not worth the frustration. People out here are literally having panic attacks over Tekken, dude. It is not that deep. Take a break. Rank is not that stressful. Take a break. Realize it's just rank match. The goal is improvement and having fun overall and building a community and having friends and all that good stuff. That is the goal. Not a Tekken God Prime. That can be a personal goal, but not an overall goal. If you want just a Tekken God Prime and you don't have the skill to get there, you're going to be miserable playing Tekken no matter how you slice it. But with that being said, I'm signing off, guys. You have a good day.